Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy. 6:30 in the morning on a Thursday. Got a little money in my pocket. Heading on out to the Madison-Bouckville Antique Week. It's been going on since last Saturday, as a matter of fact. But the last couple of days and today, it's nice and rainy, so I got to bring my galoshes, swim around to all the dealers, see what's going on. Should be kind of interesting. I've got a couple of theories, and we're going to see if they work out or not. We've got, when you get there, we're going to show some videos when we're getting there. You've got a lot of tents out there, but you've got a couple of really long tents. In fact, we did have a haul video where I went there earlier in June, so do check that out if you haven't already checked it out. A couple of long tents, and underneath those are some of the higher priced dealers and all that. And I think those people might be picked a little better than the people out in the outlying areas, because they're underneath the tents all the way through, versus the outlying, you got to walk from booth to booth, etc., etc. So I think some of the better buys we're going to find are going to be out in some of the outlying areas, so we're going to see about that. And I also have a theory that if I have more money, I may be able to buy some more things. And pause. You can't walk in the middle of shooting. You can't walk in the middle of shooting.
How do I know you're doing that?
Well, why am I talking like an idiot? So, bringing a little more money than usual. Basically, what I've been doing is I've been saving up $20 a week. And so last year, when I intended to go, I could do math in my head really quickly, carry the zero. I had $1,040 set to go. Didn't have the show last year because of the pandemic, so this year I'm going with just over $2,000 with me, hopefully able to pick up some better buys. Some years in the past I've gone with $200, $300, and that kind of limits what you can buy. So we're going to see if having a little bit bigger bankroll can allow me to make better deals and bigger deals, or if I just had the money for no reason at all and ended up spending on some local estate sales or something like that. So we don't know. We're heading on out now. Wish us luck, and you're going to see some videos as we're coming into town, how everything is set up, etc., etc. So should be a really fun day, assuming I remember how to swim. Maybe I'll buy a life jacket out there. Who knows? See ya. Alrighty, so we're coming on in. You got the famous sign, use alternate routes, pedestrian traffic ahead. It's been a nasty, nasty little drive-in, a lot of rain, heavy, heavy rain. It did clear up for all of about 5 minutes, which didn't do much good on the way in. Heading on into town, you got the first tents over here on the left. Hopefully we see lots and lots of tents as we're going down through, but a lot of people are still closed now too, because we're heading in just at 9 o'clock. People start opening up around 9 o'clock. Got a big expanse here with nothing in it, and that's one of the problems too, is you got a lot of space between. I know that one of the big fields is not open this year. Apparently the rumor is the kids are selling the field and they don't want anybody set up on it. So in fact, it's right here on the right hand side. Quaker Acres West is no longer there, and there's the for sale sign. So if you want to buy it, and you got a tremendous opportunity right over here once a year. You got tons of people coming by. Got all these tents over here that are still shut down for the looks of things, so we may have come in a little bit early this year. And that is a complete mess there because it's been raining for a few days. But should be kind of interesting. Closed all day parking because of the mud. So it's going to be a muddy, nasty day, but we're holding out a lot of hope that we're going to be able to find stuff, because like I said, last couple of days people have not been coming out because of the rain, and it's raining again today, so that should dampen, see what I did there? Dampen the enthusiasm for the casual buyer. So we're going to kind of go up through here. Try not to run into anybody. That's probably a plus as well. But yeah, a lot of neat stuff as you're driving through. You just kind of get an idea of the kind of stuff that people have over here. Well, you can't with all the tents closed, but should be interesting. People are already starting to come out and shop, which is good. Got the free parking we're going to go and find here in a minute, and we will kind of take you a walk through. You may remember from the other video that we had that you've got the two big tents over here on the right hand side. Should be the two big tents, so I say. And we will see what we can find. So there's been a little bit of rain over here. We got some big standing water. At least we got into a safe spot that we can get out of, no problem whatsoever. We got some mist coming down as we're walking, so it should be kind of interesting. Have to put my little swimming trunks on and the little floaties on so I can make it through this up here, and we're going to head to the sail in a moment.
Anybody that says this isn't work, out of all the time that I've been doing this, 20 some years, this is probably one of the worst days that I've had, as far as it was just brutal. Probably a third to half the people were shut down. And of course I deal in papers, so even a lot of the people that were open didn't have the paper out, obviously. They had it hidden away, or they were just completely shut down. Did buy a couple of things in the tents early, so we'll show you that in a little while over here. But it's just absolutely brutal. Been raining and windy all day long. Just terrible. Probably, oh gosh, there was almost nobody here compared to usual as far as customers go. Half the parking lots are closed, etc., etc. Just a brutal day. As I say, it's a great day for ducks. But we're gonna head on up to the have some lunch and hotel, not necessarily in that order, and we will show you the bounties that I got today, and I guess the thing to remember is there's always tomorrow.
All right, we're up bright and early the next day. Over here in the hotel room, going to go over what we won yesterday or bought yesterday, which was not very much whatsoever. Like I said, it was one of the toughest days in reselling I've ever had. This is pretty much my treasures. It was underneath the tent, which was what I called as far as where people would be under the tent. As I said, 2/3 of the dealers probably were closed that were outside under the main tent. It was just absolutely terrible. Up early, you're going to be meeting prime time shortly, so that'll be good. These were priced out at $32, $25, and $25, so they're priced out at $82. Big bags full of things, and they're really neat. Kind of thing a lot of people don't want to deal in, obviously, because the person was wholesaling them out. They're 1910s and 1920s vaudeville programs. And they've got some nice beer ads on the back, and I did go through them and did find W.C. Fields was in one, and did find Helen Keller did an appearance in another. So those two should be really, really good. I didn't even count how many of them I had. I just saw that the numbers, prices she had, I was paying probably, I don't know, $1.25 a piece, something other like that, which you cannot go wrong on. Other than that, I bought a couple of comic books for myself, and it was really a disappointing day one. But day two is here. It's not supposed to be raining today. Hopefully some dealers are opened up and had paper that they were smart enough not to get wet. And we're going to be meeting prime time. So we'll be checking in a little later. Here we are, waiting right outside to meet Mr. Big Time, Mr. Prime Time. Been talking with him via Messenger and going to meet him in a couple of minutes. Pretty excited about it. We're going here with the one, the only
Prime Time Treasure Hunter.
Come weighing in at 250 pounds, 6'6" of YouTube fury.
They made the tents big enough for me to get some of them. I've hit my head many times. Why wear a cap many times when I'm going out? Because I'm hitting my head against these poles a lot. So you've probably heard and seen it many times today.
So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, definitely do so. And did some sourcing with him today, and that was a lot of fun walking around. And the fun thing about it is you have different things that you like compared to us. So why don't you show a couple of things you picked up if you don't mind?
Sure. Yeah. We both, one of the things we have in common though, we both love paper stuff. So I did pick up actually everything I have in here so far is paper stuff. So
stepping on my toes here.
Well, I was trying to beat Papergoy.
Oh yeah, we were racing there.
Yeah, but these are
I
cool.
tied his shoes together.
I like these. These are some nice old rodeo signs. I really like the colors on them, and you could see that there's multiples of them. But what I really like about it is that they're different cities that are listed up top and different dates. And so, I think that they're going to do well. People like the nostalgia of the rodeo, and this would look really nice in a frame. And people, again, from these cities, make sure you put the cities in the title for your keyword search, to really help. Now, some of them are more beat up than others, but they were, oh, look at this. And on the back of it, too, you can see it says rodeo stamped on there. So, the guy had $5 a piece on these, as well as these bigger ones here. Look at the size of these.
Oh.
So there's some gigantic ones over here. And again, you're going to see that there's different cities here. So there's another city here and another one here. So I just tried to make a bulk deal with him for them. I said, how much would you do them all for? And he said, well, $5 a piece. And I said, yeah, that's the original price. What's the bulk deal? Because there's a total of 8. So that would have been $40. And he said, I'll do it all for $25. So I got them all for $25, and I'm happy about that. Then
now, if I did offer you 30 for them, let the record show. So you could have made $5 quick.
That's true. That's true. But I'm gonna take some time, piece them out. I went over to another, and this should be shown on my video too, if you want to see the actual place where I showed it. I saw a whole bunch of comic books, but they weren't worth anything. Even at $1 a piece, it wasn't worth picking up. But below the comic books, the guy had this, and this is something that we talk about a lot. People who love paper items are the comic strips, and this here comes from 1933, and this one here comes from 1932. And there's a lot of money in these comic strips. They're originals, they're not reproductions. Papergoy has looked them over and has officially confirmed that. But if you look on the back too, look at that. You got a nice big Tarzan strip right there. Isn't that really nice? So he had $10 on it and actually sold it for $5. So I got it for half. So that's good. And I've been carrying them around between the posters to protect them. Then we went to another place. A guy was selling comic books, 2 boxes of comic books. The guy wanted $500, which is not even anywhere close to what we would want to pay for it. And then ironically, right across, he had a whole stack of vintage coverless comic books. And a lot of people don't realize that you could sell coverless comic books. I like to take them and I just put them in a big lot on eBay and just see what happens with it. And at $2, you really can't lose. So they're all vintage ones, and that's what he wanted. He only wanted $2. Here's the price you can see right here. And then Papergoy and I explored a chest for our last item here, and I wound up getting this 1958 religious coloring book. Religious themed items do well for me, and none of the pages in here are colored, and the colors here really pop. So this would be something someone might even want to display. And as Papergoy knows, that Whitman is a great publisher to look for. Sell a lot of great stuff that you can see in here. Really nice religious themes in here. So that's what I got so far, and we'll pick up some more stuff today.
Oh, and I did want to, just for anybody out there that thinks that Tom isn't real on his channel, he's got the boxes.
Yes.
And the Mountain Dew.
And the Dew, which is already finished.
So he's 100% real, and I saw him coming up to me carrying the boxes, and I said, well, I've just got a Goodwill bag. So thank you very much, Prime Time, and we will see you next time.
All right,
and do subscribe if you haven't already. To both of us. All right, we are back home after an exciting day. Met Prime Time, as you saw. A lot of fun with him. Good time. We're going to do another meetup, maybe at the Syracuse Flea Market, maybe next year up at Madison, probably both. He's going to come down and do a tour of the Mr. Magazine's warehouse, so it should be a lot of fun. Picked up a lot more today, as you can see. Just a lot more stuff, and some really good stuff today. So one thing that ended up happening was yesterday, I was at a place, and the guy didn't seem to want a deal, and it was rainy, and everybody kind of was in a miserable mood, and I thought about it overnight, and I said, this guy has some decent stuff. His prices were just a little too high for me to pay. Maybe he's willing to deal. So first thing in the morning when we got there, he was the first place I went to, and he had these, and believe it or not, these do sell. They're candy bar wrappers, and there are a lot of old candy bar wrappers from the 1940s and 1950s. Chocolate mint patties, Mars bars, a lot of neat things like this, which believe it or not do sell because nobody ever ended up saving them. So he wanted $4 a piece. So went up there and I said, hey, how you doing? I've been thinking about these candy bar wrappers. I'm kind of interested in them. Will you do me a deal if I take them all? And he said, yeah, let me count them. Usually you don't like people counting them because they usually count and then they come up with a higher price than they would if they didn't count. Well, he counted them. There's 34 wrappers here, I think he said, something like that. And he said, how about $50? Well, given that 34 times 4 is a lot higher than $50, I said, yeah, I'll take that. I'm going to keep shopping. Because as soon as he moved down that far in this price, I knew he'd move down on other prices. So sure enough, I kind of walked around and made a nice big pile of stuff. And he kind of went through it all, and he gave me his price. And I told him, I think he was at like $248. And I said, I'm going to drive a hard bargain. And I said, make it $250, but throw something in, and I don't see where it is now. It's right here. It's a whole bunch of brochures, poultry brochures, that he wanted 50 cents each on, and there are probably 30 to 40 brochures in there. He goes, wait, what? Oh, yeah, because he thought I was beating him down on the price. I was actually raising the price and adding something to it. He was very, very happy about the deal. He had these newspapers, and I only went about a third of the way down in these newspapers, and I knew I could definitely make some money off of these. And I said, yeah, I'm interested in the newspapers. How much on them? And he said, how about $25? I said, sold. So I got this whole box of newspapers for $25. Don't even know what all is in here, but I know that's a very good deal. And then something or other that I picked up from him that I never would have bought until I started watching various YouTube channels and learned off of it. And that's these really nice little advertising fans over here. He wanted $2 a piece on them, which is a steal to start with. I said, how much for all of them? And I think he said $40 for the entire box. So that's an awful lot of advertising fans in there. And these things definitely do sell. All that you have to do on them is note the, like this is New Holland, Pennsylvania. Note where they're from, and they will sell to people in that town. People do collect them. So that was a very, very good deal. A lot of other people were open. One gentleman over there, and he had good stuff, but it was $5 a piece per item. And I did pick these two items up for $5 a piece. Billboard and a really nice pinup magazine for $5 a piece, and I know that's a good deal on those. And I said to him, hey, if I want to take more stuff, can I get a deal? And he goes, well, the things you have in your hand, I go, oh yeah, I know they're really good. He had this marked at $25, but he was blowing it off for $5. I said, well, I'm more than willing to pay the full shot on these. I understand, these are good. I said, but on some of the other stuff. So I said, if I make a pile, can we work out a little bit? He goes, yeah, we can work something out. So I ended up making a pile and got some good stuff. And I guess the lesson is, don't be insulting. I knew better than to ask for a cut on the price of the billboard and the pinup magazine, because those are very good magazines. Those are very good items. $5 is more than fair to pay on them. I'm not going to try to beat him up, and he appreciated that I wasn't beating him on it. So when I made my pile, he went through it and he said, well, these are $5, this is $5, this is 2 for $5, so he gave me one free, this is $3. So he ended up cutting the prices on the items he felt weren't worth $5. He cut the prices on them, and I just took them all. I said, that sounds good. Because I was able to cut the price down, and a lot of the things were right on the edge of being worth $5 to buy or not. I got a little bit of a deal, took a bunch of stuff. He was happy, and he's going to be setting up next year at the sale, and so I'm going to pick stuff up from him as well. Another little bolo. Do be on the lookout for these. These things always sell. You used to go to restaurants back in the day, and you would get a photo inside to remember your visit to the restaurants. And these things always sell. And this one I've never seen before. It's from an Army-Navy club, so that one might be very, very good. $10 for the 3 of them, which these sell for $20 to $25 a piece. So that was a good deal. And also got from the guy, got this over here, which is going to be very, very good. It's well, junk mail, which I tend to sell a lot of, but it shows different cruises, comes with the original mailer envelope and all that kind of thing. So this is probably going to be a $30 to $40 piece on its own. So that's good. A couple of other quick highlights I wanted to hit. Like I said, this whole pile over here. Unfortunately, with all the rain, these got ruined a little bit. They're a little bit damp, but they're really, really nice. They were sent out to the movie theaters back in the day to advertise the film and show the posters, and the dealer or the movie theater could buy various posters and all that kind of stuff if they want. There's a little sample of something or other. So the stuff's really nice. It did get a little bit of water damage, but going to let it dry out, and I think that those will sell pretty well. A few other things. As I've told you before, prior bolos, American flag, definitely picked this up. Picked this up from the guy with the candy bar wrappers. I don't know what I paid on it because he kind of did all the adding. He only wanted $4 to start with, so I'm sure he didn't charge me much on it at all. Another bolo, Fred Harvey. Anytime you see Fred Harvey, those things sell. They sell very, very quickly. So this will be a nice little quick sale over there. Another thing I picked up, only because it kind of ties into the stuff that I ended up selling, free sandwich bags from Hires Root Beer. I figured that'll definitely sell because most people would have thrown things like this away. So it's very nice. I got this over here, so next time I go out with primetime eating, I can wear my little bib. But I thought it was really, really cool with ready kilowatt on it and all that kind of stuff. So it's all set, and I can eat barbecue with it as well. Two other quick things. Got this over here, and the main reason they call these are ad Heralds is what they call them. Usually they're smaller size. This is a big one, first really big one I saw. They would have hung it up telling it, but it's from the U.S. Marine Corps Air Station. So I thought that was an extra selling point, let alone the fact, it mentions Elvin Costello, shows The Mummy's Curse, and all these various movies on there as well. So people buy them because of the movie showing, people will buy it because it was the Marines, etc., etc. So very good purchase over here on this one over here. Will definitely sell. And the last interesting thing that I bought, which I bought a bunch of these. These are Anthracite Field Part 2, Part whatever, all these various things. They're fold-out maps that talk about coal mines and coal areas and all that kind of stuff. Coal mine stuff definitely does sell. I got like 8 different parts of these, different sheets and all that kind of stuff. So definitely going to list these. I didn't pay very much for them at all. And little BOLA out there too. Your coal mine stuff does definitely sell. So all in all, very, very happy. Makes up for yesterday and getting soaked. Some of the fields were still really, really nasty today, walking through them. Get sunk down in the mud and all that kind of stuff. But well worth it. Shout out to Primetime, great guy. A lot of fun meeting him, talking with him. Really did have a good time sourcing with him because, like I had said earlier in the video, he's got a different eye than I do, and he looks for a lot of different things than me. And he was giving me some tips on stuff. He'd say, if you see that actually sells because, and I was giving him some tips on stuff because I deal with a lot with the older paper that he isn't necessarily as up on as well. So we were teaching each other as well, so it was a lot of fun. So do hit the like button. Comment down below whether you like this whole format and everything, because I definitely enjoyed doing it, and it was a lot of fun. Was not able to spend as much money as I wanted to spend, but I ended up doing okay. So we'll see you next video.